Welcome back. Going to keep an eye on shares of Starbucks this morning. Of course, the stock Jim and I have discussed a great deal. What I can share at this point, I mean, there was a story over the weekend or on Friday that Starboard, obviously an activist we all know well, has taken a stake there. Doesn't appear, based at least on what I've been able to understand at this point, that there's necessarily a story around that at this point. Activists do occasionally just own stocks and they kind of wait and see. And maybe they will do something at some point, but they very well may not. And that certainly seems to be the case here in terms of what's been reported by the Journal with Starboard owning a stake there. The focus that we've had and that continues to be the case, I think, for the market, rightly so, is on Elliott and the significant ownership stake that company or that fund has in Starbucks and what it is trying to accomplish, namely, from what I certainly understand, and I think you do, getting somebody, if not one or more directors on the board. What I've heard most often is Jesse Cohn, who runs the activist practice at Elliott for some time, being proposed as a director, some back and forth around that. But perhaps, Jim, we do get a settlement near term that does involve Mr. Cohn joining the board. Again, can't say that with certainty, but certainly something that I've been hearing any number of times as a real possibility.
You and I know him. I know him by reputation. You know him.
I do know Jesse, yeah.
If he got on the board, it would be meaningful. Because I look at the board, and the board is made up of really busy people who, and I mean busy not in a negative way. I mean like people who are focused on other aspects. I mean, look, Satya had to leave it because it doesn't have time.
Yes, Satya Nadella stepped off the board. This would be essentially replacing his place on the board.
So if this man went on the board, it would actually be of some significance because I think the problem, David, is operational. I think that they have a three-pronged plan that Luxman has, and I don't think people believe it addresses. Everyone seems to have Andrew Ross Sorkin everyone has an idea in mind. Andrew Ross Sorkin would say, listen, we need a 99-cent coffee. We got to get him in there. I mean, I was listening. I said, like, everyone has their own view, of which, by the way, I share his because it is very expensive. I had an $8 Starbucks experience after waiting in line for a long time at one of the stupid airport ones, which everybody knows they don't run and they have no control over, and the last guy said, you can't worry about it, Jim, it doesn't mean anything. And I come back and say, are you kidding me? It's your nameplate, for instance. Have some guts and tell the franchisor that we're breaking the contract and you can sue us. But what I see with Starbucks is a company that is not, we'll spin off China, we'll do this or that. It's operationally questionable, and that's something that is never questioned. And Jesse Cohn would question.
It's also, and it may well be the case that is, in fact, what occurs. That said, it can take some time, can it, to fix these kinds of things if, in fact, there are fixes to be had?
It would be faster if you said, listen, we want 3 on the board, and they say no, and then there's a race. A proxy. Then it would really. Now we know from Disney you can have a kind of up and down thing there. The proxy goes to 120, but this is not.
Elliott,
this is different.
They do engage in proxy fights, but not often.
No,
it's been a while. I'd have to look at history.
It could be more like Constellation, where they put on one guy.
Yep.
And the problem is they got in there and said, well, geez, our guy is Bill Newlands, the CEO, and he's doing everything, and it still doesn't move. But we advise him. He likes our advice. He takes it, but the stock still doesn't go up. And that's a large part because people are worried about GOP Death 1 and also worried about President Trump.
That happens a lot in activist situations as well. Not everything that an activist touches turns to gold. We certainly know that.
I like that.
You do?
Yeah, I really like that.
Okay.
Do you think an activist should get involved with NVIDIA because it's only up 100%, still the best performing?
Absolutely. Somebody should explain to Jensen Huang what's really going on. I don't think he really understands his market.
No, but I'll tell you what my kids bought me for Father's Day.
What? Father's Day? Wait, that happened a while ago. Okay.
Well, that's not the point.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
An unbelievable leather jacket that looks just like Jensen.
Really?
Yeah, and, I feel like Jensen when I put it on, meaning down 15%, not as good as I thought. I mean, that is what can you imagine, David, it's the number one firm in the S&P, and people have they're complaining? I saw someone this weekend who said to me, so your dog was named NVIDIA. Like you didn't do anybody a favor by recommending it for the last 8 years or whatever it's been. NVIDIA, thanks for nothing.
You can't take it so hard.
Well, I take it personally.
I know you do, but that's really not easy.
Well, it's everything we have.